Here we are, another day. Today is Wednesday here in Bangkok. Wednesday at a little after 9 o'clock. Beautiful temperature, 33.25 on the Thai baht, but temperature 76 degrees, nice and cool. Highest 92, lowest 72. The feel-like temperature is 76. The humidity is 78. It's just a nice day today, really. Winds are southerly, 3 miles an hour. Yeah, I forgot to say Happy New Year. It's a few days past me, and I've already said it. I went through the whole holiday spiel. Happy holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that good stuff. But Happy New Year to everybody. It is 2022. And I'll tell you what, I have stumbled onto a gem of a place. Today I have to go to hospital and get a booster shot. I don't have to, but I'm going to. Which, forget about that for the time being. This has got to be, and we're inside right now. This is just one little tiny area. This is a huge compound, and I'm going to take you for a little stroll around in a few moments. But this has got to be the coolest cafe, the coolest place that I've been, that I can remember at least. Coolest cafe I can remember in all of Thailand. I mean, when you walk around with me, you'll see what I'm talking about. But the coffee is great. I was actually a little bit surprised by the coffee. I thought, oh, they're going to give me the big cup, and but they didn't. They gave me the nice espresso, and the coffee is really, really good. I'm in Nong Chok, which is a predominantly Muslim area. This is the bigged district and most sparsely populated district in all of Bangkok. To be honest, I had never even heard of this place, this area, because I hadn't been here to my knowledge. I may have been through here, but never stopped here. And it's northeast of Bangkok, it's past Minburi, and it's by the Mahanakhon Institute of Technology. That's where I am right now. Don't ask about the barista. There's men and women alike here, and like I said, they are predominant here. Everybody here is a Muslim that I've seen so far, which doesn't matter to me. I really don't care, and I'm sure they don't care. It is what it is. But this is a fantastic place. Give me a second to have my coffee, because when I come back in here, I'm going to get another coffee, and I'm going to get a fantastic little kanom that they have that I'm looking forward to having. But let me show you something real quick, which I just am thrilled to see. Look at this. It's a jukebox. Look at this. But look at this thing. Those are records in there. That's vinyl, baby. And look at this. The first thing I saw was Paint It Black, the Rolling Stones. Crystal Gale, It's All Right With Me. You got all kinds of Simon and Garfunkel, Cecilia. Another Day by Paul McCartney. You got This Guy's in Love with You, Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass. So you get the picture. Really cool, though. I'm gonna assume they had it restored, but it's very, very nice. And you'll see as I walk around, they have so many cool things here. So let me give you a little look outside. Like I said, this is more than just this little cafe area. On the weekends, they serve breakfast. And they have breakfast omelet roll, 120 baht, fish porridge, 100 baht, breakfast scrambled eggs, 120 baht, shrimp porridge, 120 baht, chicken porridge, 70 baht, scrambled eggs, breakfast scrambled eggs, 120 baht, breakfast fire eggs, 120 baht. So reasonably priced. Unfortunately, they don't serve, at least for the time being, they don't serve breakfast during the week, but that's okay. So let me just, I'm going to finish this coffee, like I said. See if I get some better light here. Only way to get there is taxi. Well, right now, it is the only way to get all the way here by taxi, Andy. The Ramkhamhaeng Road is, if you take Ramkhamhaeng past the market known, what is it? The Talat Nam Kwan Nariam. If you take Ramkhamhaeng Road past that, which is something like 151, I don't remember off the top of my head, and you keep going, you'll pass up like 191, 193, and it just keeps going. And then, exactly where it is. But the orange line that's being built along Ramkhamhaeng Road will come, when it's finished, will come quite a distance out here. But to give you an idea, I took a Grab taxi. I didn't take the in-driver today. Usually I take in-driver, but it was like 260 baht. And the Grab was 280. And so I just took the Grab because that's what I normally take. But so that gives you an idea how far it is from my house. 280 baht. And you know, with the coffee, they give a nice hot tea. And again, it's very good. Let me just tell you, whoever owns this place, they put some serious dough into it, and they put some, they really did it right. So let me go out there, go out here. Let me just see something here. Okay, these are I'm gonna put these on. Let's take a little walk outside and take a look around. Greetings, salutations, Happy New Year to everybody. Let's get out of here just for a moment. Don't forget, guys, leave a thumbs up when you see what I'm going to show you, at least some of you. I have a feeling you are going to want to make this place a place that you visit. If I were you guys, if you got a lady here in Thailand, you might want to consider bringing her out here for a nice dinner or for coffee in the morning, on a breakfast on a weekend or something like that. Because it's that nice of a place. It's worth the trip, in my opinion. All right, so let's get out of here. All right, now, right here, this area is, so here we go. We are at the Voodoo Cafe. That answers your question, Gennaro. Nang Chok, which is northeast of Bangkok, past Minbury. Now, hang on, because this is very, very cool. But just let me show you a little bit how the place is decorated. And this is just one little corner of it, but look at this up here. They got the shell. Might be like the Shell gasoline thing. So let me take you out here real quick. Well, I'll wait for that. I'll wait. The first thing that you're gonna see when you come into this place is it's a really nice garden, the way they have it set up. This place is used for weddings, it's used for parties and all kinds of things, but the decor here is just, it's so nice. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So, first of all, they have a little pizza joint over here. They have a little pizza joint. And check this out over here. Caltex gasoline. They love the cactus here. The Midland and Textile Insurance. I mean, the attention to detail here is really second to none. I mean, you have a nice little area you can sit with your girl. All right. Now look at this over here. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy pizza, and that's kind of the same thing. You got beautiful flowers here. Now, let me show you some other stuff that is really cool. I mean, this place is, to me, it's the nicest cafe, the coolest cafe I think I've ever seen. And the coffee is really good, so that's a plus. I like this, how they have this here. Wedding room, restaurant, cafe, pizza, prayer room. Okay, another little area just to sit here. All right, and then you have, I was kind of praying that they were open because there's not a whole lot in this area, okay? I mean, this, as I said, this is the largest district in Bangkok, and it is also the most sparsely populated. And I only saw one other cafe, and it was just a little rinky-dink cafe. As I said, it's past Minbury. Everywhere they have their brand. And they also have, I believe they what they do is they rent out space to people. But look at this. Check this out here. You got the Tiger, right? But look at this. You got the Chevy. อันนี้จากพี่อะไรครับอันนี้เป็น19อะไร1930แล้วรู้ไหมอายุเท่าไหร่เก่าเท่าไหร่ไม่รู้ แต่เก่าใช่ไหม This is a Chevrolet Thrift Master. Look at this, and I mean, it's pretty much pristine from what you can see. From the outside, looks pretty damn good. Well, listen, you know, if you don't have a whole lot to do, look at this. Holy shit, another one. It's worth the trip just to come out here and see some of this stuff. No, it's east of Minbury. It's northeast of Bangkok and Minbury. Look at this, Porsche diesel. Okay. Now, this to me is a little bit of a tell, and I could be wrong, and I really would like to find out, but I'm gonna probably need to make another trip out here in order to do so. But I'm gonna say that that sign is Dutch or German, and I'm just gonna say that perhaps this guy worked overseas, made a bunch of money, came back, bought this place. German, bought the place, and now, you know, he does pretty well. But let's check this out. I don't believe I can go in at the moment. Yeah, it looks like it's closed, but check this out. You got BMW motorcycle. You got all kinds of old stuff in here. Holy moly. Look at this. W.H. Daniels' famous Vienna brand. Kind of hard to see in here, but you got the BMW tank on the, you got the Dr. Pepper sign on the wall. 52 Chevy. You got all these signs here. I can't even see. What is it? Kanoko? What was it? Kanoko? Skelly, Sinclair Power, BA. You got McDonald's. I just take a taxi, man. Really, I would just take a taxi. All in all, it's probably less of a hassle, and the cost difference is negligible. All right, so I don't think, obviously this place is not open, but they got another little coffee shop here. So I don't know, maybe this is for people who just want to drive in, and they don't really want to go inside. They just want to drive in, come here for a few minutes, and then split. But you got all this Americana stuff, and I believe some of it's from the UK as well. And you got this roach coach. I don't know if they use it. It doesn't look like it, but they might. Now, let me show you something else here, and this is the cool part. Well, not this sign, but let me show you this. Parking for sassy girls. Oh, I love it. Here we go. Now, this is what I really like. Look at this. You got private rooms. And they do use these boats. I believe this is a, well, I was going to say pomelo, but I don't think so. I don't know how you say sassy in Thai. I'm sure there's a way, kind of. Here we go, Voodoo Cafe. Like I said, the attention to detail here is really second to none. I mean, look at this chair. The flowers. Very, very nice. Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm here in the morning because I have something to do today, and this place just happened to be around. But I can tell you that my wife and I will probably come here in the next few weeks just because I like the place, and I'm sure she likes it. Wait. All right, now this is pretty cool here. This area can support only 30 people. All right, so look at this. So you have a little private table here. And look how it's decorated. They really just, they don't spare anything here. Look at this. They got the air conditioning in there. All right. And these canoes are older, especially this one. Sea, and they all have names. This one is Sea of Paradise, Dream Sea, Family Heaven, and they're basically all the same. You know, but they got the condiments out here. They got everything you need. I mean, it's just great. This is definitely a hidden gem. So don't forget to leave a thumbs up, guys. I'd appreciate it. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, now, this is not it, though. As I said, there's numerous buildings, but check this out. And I believe here to the left, let me see here, I might be wrong, but check this out. Very cool place. I mean, yeah, I don't know what this, I don't know if this is like a hotel. I believe it is, actually. It is locked up, though. But check this out. It's locked, but look at this. You got the Coke machine. All about knots here. Oh, and it's in French. So the names of the knots are in French, but let me show you this as well. You see, that's like a bar. They got like an old foosball table over there. I mean, to me, this is just the coolest place. I mean, this is where the staff goes in. But now let me show you something else here. All right, check this out. I love this. Look for Thomas Lipton on each package. Furnished rooms. Sladikap. Strong Fortism. Builds muscular men. Over here. Drink Pepsi-Cola at founts or in bottles. I love this. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Eddie's bread, good to eat. Really, really cool. This is far from Fashion Island. If I remember correctly, it's very, very far. It just depends on the freeway and all that other kind of stuff. Now, this is the gents' bathroom. I mean, everything they do is really, is quality, man. Look at this. Pepsi Cola. They got the Pepsi Cola. This is the fountain. And it is on top of the Coca-Cola. Really, really cool. And then you got this. You know what? I have to sit in this. Oh yeah, that's so nice. And then you got this view here. Now imagine you come out here with, say, 6 or 7 of your friends. You know, half a dozen people, a dozen people. You come out here. It's got to be a great place. Now I don't know if they serve booze here because it is a Muslim establishment. Look at that, the fire extinguisher. I didn't even notice that. Hey, when I came here, I went, holy moly, man, this is a gem right here. Now, I'm not sure if this is, I'm not sure what this is for, to be honest. I'm like, I was, at first I was like, oh, they make pasta with this. Then I'm like, no, maybe it's something for paper or something to flatten out. I don't know. Anyway, so that's part of it. Now let's just keep going over here, and you'll see. This is just the front area where I walked out to. I just want to, oh, this is the prayer room. Okay. So this is the prayer room for the Muslims. Wow. All right. Yeah, laundry rollers. So when they do their clothes and they're all wet, that's how they wring them out. You know, prices are very reasonable. There are a few people in here now. Look at this. Kickapoo Joy Juice. I just think this is the coolest place. Now, this clock is not working. I don't get the Voodoo connection either, and I kind of figured that there wouldn't be one, but that's the way it goes. So let's go in here now. Note to self, relax. Finally Friday. And I'm gonna relax and have something. Something really good here. Call espresso ร้อนแล้วก็ฮอกไกโดช็อกโกแลตชีสเค้กได้ค่ะ โ ครับ All right, let's go back over here. And then we can start talking about the 2022 list. Which you might be surprised about a little bit. But really, I think this is the coolest place. I really do. I love this place. Let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, this is better, right? Better light. This place gets the vote for the coolest place, the coolest cafe I've ever seen in Thailand. Overall, it's just cool, it's relaxing. Outside here it says break free from negative people, because negativity has a way of passing from person to person and they will drag you down with them. Happiness is an attitude. We either make ourselves miserable or happy and strong. It's your choice. Now, you know, like I said, if you... Do I use brill cream? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I use brill cream, sure. Very cool. Cool place, man. I'm loving this place, really. As cafes go, and you know, there is a restaurant here, and she did say on the weekends this place gets pretty kicking, which doesn't surprise me. Here we go. Look at this. I got the Hokkaido cheesecake. Carlos, eat your heart out wherever you are. Look at this. I even got a kiss. Popcorn. Look at this. Excellent. No, this is a cheesecake. This is a Hokkaido cheesecake. Looks pretty damn good to me. But first, thank you for the kiss. Look at this. Oh, this looks like a little Oreo kisser. And listen, this thing, 129 baht. It's not exactly what I would call dirt cheap, but it is middle of the road, and the quality is what I like. The quality of the coffee. I got a nice espresso here. Look at that. The quality is what sets it apart. Just, I mean, the whole place is quality. Now, that's really it. This place is quality. It's not, you know, you're not going to be paying 500 baht a drink and, oh my God, I'm on the rooftop and I'm looking at this beautiful place and I'm drinking a foo drink with my favorite girl. That's not going to happen. Thank you very much there, Terj. You are the first person of the day. So choke D to you. Appreciate it. As always. This place is, listen, I like to stream when I find places like this. Man. I mean, this kind, ooh, man, this is, well, I've been watching what I eat for the last couple of weeks. My wife has put me on a strict diet, and we've been walking 7-8 kilometers a day at least. I can't pass this up, not during the stream, to show you guys. It's just too good. Look at that. Okay, it almost makes me, this place almost makes me feel bad that Thailand is not really in my top 10 for places to live in 2022. Man, this is just so good, Gennaro. Look at that. And I'm gonna assume, I could be wrong, and I didn't ask, but I'm gonna assume that they make their own beans here. Yeah, I'm out of my mind. Andrew, you don't even live here. You are not here. You don't know what's going on. You don't see day to day the government, how they are. And I dare say, if you're still in Vietnam, you're lucky to be there. Even though Vietnam is a great place, their issues with visas lately have been part of the reason why they rate a lot lower than they would have a couple of years ago. I always love it when somebody who comes here every so often or lives here part-time, and I mean like part-time, not like 6 months out of the year. They come here from my buddy. I had this buddy who used to come here a couple of weeks out of every year and he used to say, oh, Thailand's my second home. I'm like, no, it isn't. You come here for a holiday once a year. I'm like, get real. It's not your second home. There's a difference between being a tourist and being someone who lives here. What? And things have changed. Now, yes, I do. Let me see here. Let me go down my little list here. And I know I'm going to get some shit from some people. Well, okay, let them give their kidney then. I dare say that more people are choosing other places. And the reason is because Thailand has made it difficult. They've shown how wishy-washy the government is. They're indecisive. And I think that has caused a lot of people who are not hardcore and people who are looking for the best places to go, not necessarily the cheapest places to go. And Thailand is no longer, I was thinking about it yesterday. Thailand can be relatively inexpensive in many ways, but it is also expensive in other ways. It'll nickel and dime you to death. Look at this. Now, this is how I'm going to do it. There are two places that are tied for fourth and two places that are tied for fifth. So actually there's 7 places, but I didn't want to leave these out. I didn't feel it was right to just leave 2 of the places out. Now, the bottom two, and what I did was, I went on various sites, and I mean, this is so decadent, and it's about as perfect as I can get, because you got the creamy right here, and then you got the chocolate, thick chocolate, like fudge in the middle, and then you got like chocolate cake on the bottom. I went to 5 different sites, but one of them I didn't really consider to be relevant because of, and I'll get into it, but I didn't consider it to be relative. So I really drew from 4 different sites, and then what I did was I looked at all the sites and looked at all the places that they were ranking and saw where each place ranked on each different site. I put my own input into it from what I know, from what I've been told from a lot of expats, and this is what I came up with, all right, from the 4 different sites. Number 5, tied for number 5 are 2 places. One is Costa Rica, okay, and I'll get into why once I go through these. Another, believe it or not, is France. I was a little bit shocked, but it came out on all these sites. That chocolate is just thick. What I remember of France when I was there is that it is, in many ways, it's a fantastic place. I don't know about the bureaucracy, but I leave that to these sites because they know better than I do. And so, number 5, tied for number 5, hey Dallo, how you doing, is Costa Rica in France. Number 4, and I don't think this will surprise people so much. Number 4, tied for number 4, is Panama and Spain. And Soy Dog Cowboy, I was talking to him before the stream, and he said, oh, Panama's number 1. And in some ways, I see that, you know, we're talking about people who are not thinking, I got to go to the cheapest place. I got to go to the place I can afford. We're talking about people who, you know, they have enough money to live in a place comfortably in most places. Now, the last place that the last set of places that I'm going to go over are for people who have a bit more money, and so that's why I left them out. These places are for your average people. Now, number 3. Listen, I didn't have a problem with the French when I went there, and I was there for about 3 weeks. I had no problem with the French. One taxi driver, and that was about it. Now, number 3, Ecuador. Listen, I've been talking about Ecuador for a long time. I got a buddy who lives there. Actually, 2 people that I know live there. One is a good buddy, and he bought land there. He's got a house there. And the place, it ranks highly with just about every website that goes over retirement destinations. Number 2, and this might surprise some people, but it has taken over, is Mexico. Especially Americans. More and more people are looking to Mexico. Number 1, and I actually talked about this. I have a friend who is moving there. He's already got his visa approved, and he bought some property there. And this place is a gem of a place as well. Well, I think you should look into it, Gennaro, and I will go over why in a few moments. I will give some specifics in a few minutes, but number 1, Take one guess. Where is numero uno? And it ain't Thailand. I'm gonna show you this chocolate. How thick it is. Look at that. This part right here. It's like fudge. They really do it right here. So far, I'm highly impressed by this place. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Come on, Gennaro. You can get past that. I already said Spain is number 4, tied with Panama. Number 1 is Portugal. And it's funny because, like I said, I got a buddy who already bought property there, and he and his wife they're ready to go. It's just a matter of time. They will be there, but they have their property already. And then I have another buddy who was just in the video the other day. I put up Steve from Steve's Kitchen, who was talking to me about it, and we both had good things to say about it. I haven't been there, so I'm basically talking from book knowledge, which only counts. It only goes so far. Actually, Porto. If you go up into the north, it's nice. The people are very nice, but apparently you need to go a little farther south for the warm weather, and it's very, very nice there. However, I did look, because he told me this. He said, all you have to do is prove that you earn about $1,000 a month, and you can get a visa there. And I don't know how it works. I don't remember. I should have thought about this, but let's see if I can bring it up real quick. But I believe you can get permanent residency. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, Gennaro, you're not moving there for the women anywhere. You're smarter than that, right? I mean, seriously. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this is it right here. Oh, shit. Last bite. That is so freaking good. Oh. I don't know that it's the best breakfast, but it is really good. It's like having a beer for breakfast. All right, come on, baby, load up for me. You can get a short stay visa. All right, let me see here. This is what I was looking at. Don't need any chocolate on my glasses. Temporary stay for medical care, temporary stay, seasonal work, residence visa. Now, let's see here. I don't know that that's the one that I was looking at. I'm trying to figure this out here. Residence and member state of EU. Short stay visa, and maybe this is it. Short stay is a year. Your stay is intended to exceed 90 days. This is not the site I was looking at, but there is a visa available for people who, it's 665 euro. Let's see if I can squeeze out another mouthful of chocolate here. No. Ugh. The quality of... listen, Andrew, you're a chowderhead, dude. There are hot women everywhere. I don't care where it is. You know, aside from maybe going to some religious, fanatical country or a place like North Korea, I really think that if you look around, I think what it has to do is culture. How easy is it? How friendly are the people? Because I know I've been to about 50 countries, and quite frankly, only one or two of them were places that I would say, ooh, the number of women here is really scarce. Now let me get into some of the specifics here, because I think it's important that we get into that. Hey, Carlos, you just missed my what was this thing called? Hokkaido chocolate cheesecake. 129 baht, and it's the bomb. But this is a little bit too much here, but like Costa Rica, 2 healthcare systems. Okay, a couple can comfortably live, but not necessarily extravagantly, for around $2,000 to $2,500 a month. This includes renting a 2-bedroom home condo with North American amenities, air conditioning, plus groceries, entertainment, transportation, and healthcare. If your monthly budget is over $3,000, you will find a relaxed lifestyle with most creature comforts you can require. The Ticos, the Costa Ricans, are extremely welcoming. There is a slow lifestyle there, but I've heard a lot of good things about the place. The only thing that I heard negative was that the place was rainy, very rainy. The people that I talked to about the other day who are now in the Philippines, who suffered the brunt of that, what the hell was it called? The storm. We'll just call it the storm. 8 miles from home. They used to live here, then they moved to Portugal, and now for some reason they moved to the Philippines. I don't know, but it's interesting. And like I said, I know a couple of people that are thinking of moving to Portugal. They've done their research. I know a couple of people. One person has been there, spent some considerable time there. Another person bought property there after doing a hell of a lot of research. I know this guy's a good friend of mine. And but like a place like Panama, where were they? Number 4. Basically with Panama, let me see if I can find this. It makes it easier for me to get the information here. Yeah, this is the one right here. Can I zoom that? Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I know you can always buy property in Portugal and you can get in that way, but you can also get in. It was 665 euro was the amount you needed, and you need health insurance. So I don't think it's really. I know I was talking with Steve about this, and you know he's like, listen, the insurance thing is mainly an American thing. It's for people who are always worried about the insurance and who, you know, they're constantly thinking about this. It's a mentality. I don't know that I agree with that because, you know, in Europe, health insurance is important. And the United States is basically, I think because it's state by state, they're going to have a lot of problems with insurance. They're always going to have problems with insurance. And therefore, insurance in other areas, like in Ecuador, after 3 years, in Ireland, like after a couple of years, and in Portugal, after a couple of years, you get on their, and if you're working in any of these places, you get on their health plan, just like in Thailand though, you get on their health program, and your health insurance is relatively inexpensive. I mean, for a middle-aged person or a young senior, such as Well, I would say myself, but I'm getting up there a little bit more now. The insurance is anywhere from about 50 bucks or free to say 100. Now this is the, a moderately healthy person. But let's see here. Let me see. What was number 5? Costa Rica. Costa Rica, the housing rate's 74 out of 100. The benefits rate 88. The visa program 91, and that's where Panama excels, is their visa programs. They have some great visa programs. Now, Cambodia, which I haven't talked about, is down with the visas to 70, and Vietnam is 40. So that tells you how much Vietnam has lagged, how much they've dropped in the past, just because of this pandemic. Portugal, the visa's 64, so it's not fantastic, but the benefits are 86. What the hell's going on here? The benefits 86. The housing is 87, which is one of the highest for housing. In fact, let me see here. It is the highest. It is the highest out of all the housing index, countries with housing indexes. Fitting in and entertainment, Panama is 89, which is a little surprising to me. Costa Rica, 92. Mexico, 94. Thailand, 81. Cambodia, 82. Vietnam, 75. Portugal, 87. So, this is coming from people and places. This is coming from expats. It's coming from companies that do, and like one of them, this is International Living. They do nothing every year but compile this data, and then I'm assuming that at least some of it is legitimate. The majority of it is legitimate. Thailand, the climate is 58, and it's because it's so hot. That's another thing. In Costa Rica, or Mexico rather, people say it is a bit too hot. I guess it depends on where you live in Mexico. Development in Thailand is 81, whereas in Costa Rica it's 82, Portugal 88, Ecuador 75, Spain 86. The climate, Ecuador, Colombia, let me just go on here. Now, if I were to go by what these places, how these places that I looked at rated countries, Thailand would be number 6. If you go by International Living, their global retirement index, they're number 11, which is, I think, a bit more appropriate. I don't think number 6. They're tied, actually, Thailand is just slightly above Colombia and Italy. Then Ireland, okay, and then Taiwan, Vietnam, and Malaysia. And don't forget about Cambodia. Now, on one of the other sites, which is William Russell Insurance, which I used to have them, and they're a fantastic insurance company. I don't know how good their information is about retirement, but they say that the 5 best places to live for expats is Australia, which I don't know how that is now. I know that maybe the media overblows things. I don't want to shit on Australia, because I know there's a lot of people that say good things about it, but they say it's number 5. Singapore is number 4, which I highly disagree with that one. I would pick Malaysia before Singapore. Singapore is so small. After a couple of days, I get sick of the place. Number 3, Norway. Okay, maybe 6 months out of the year. I met a guy from Finland yesterday, and basically he wants to move here for 6 months out of the year, and I said, buddy, you might want to take things slowly. Just take it slowly. But apparently he's found a new girl, and I actually happen to know the girl. And she's got a couple of kids and all that, and he wants to move here. And I don't know what their kind of relationship is or anything like that, but he wants to move here, and he wants to come here when it's extremely cold in Finland, which, anyway, Canada, number 2. I know Canada is beautiful, fantastic places there. It's the government. The government is a turnoff for me. And then Switzerland. Listen, would I live in Switzerland? I'd like to live there at least part-time. It's beautiful there. It's a beautiful area. It is changing a little bit. It's expensive. But so those are the 5 on the. What is this? Those are the 5 on the list from William Russell. Now I didn't really include those. They also have Taiwan in the mix, and Taiwan is very underrated. However, the big turnoff for me is China. I cannot. In fact, it's not even on the list for the International Living's Global Retirement Index. It's not even on the list. Now we got a bunch of people coming here behind me. Yeah, I don't see. Now, somewhere else that I see that I've been there before is Nicaragua. And it's number, I don't know, it's got to be number 20, 25 on this list. Let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, it's 25th. Does it have anything about safety? Opportunity, Thailand, 56, not very high at all. Cost of living index is 90, which is quite good, obviously. Portugal, it's 84. Ecuador, 92. And Costa Rica, 88. Where's Vietnam? Vietnam, cost of living index 96, but it's that visa problem. It's not easy now. Not as easy as it used to be. It's too bad there's no breakfast here. I would have got a breakfast. I could have gone for some of those eggs. Yeah. Anyway, what do you guys think? Yeah, I've never been to Australia either, and I would like to visit. My mother has been there, and she doesn't usually talk a whole lot about price, but she said it is expensive there. She really likes Ireland. I think out of all the places she's went, she likes Ireland. Here, she doesn't, I wouldn't say she loves Thailand, but she doesn't dislike it. And this is the thing, and this is kind of what I do, which maybe I learned it from her, I don't know. Every place has its positives and negatives, and despite what some people think about, Thailand's got to be in the top 3 and, it's paradise and all this other shit. I don't buy it simply because of the uncertainty and the ever-changing laws and policies. And it's not the same as it used to be. And if you knew how far it had shifted, you might be less apt to move here. If I were to move here now, if I was thinking about moving here nowadays, I would choose elsewhere. That's the bottom line. I would not choose here. I would go somewhere else. I don't know that I'd go to Portugal. Maybe. Costa Rica kind of strikes my fancy. Ecuador, a little bit less so. I like Vietnam, you know. So, even the south of France, listen, the south of France is extremely nice, but it's also very expensive. That's the thing, it was about $4,200 a month was the cost of living. You could live decently for $4,200 a living, $4,200 a month in France. That was the cost of living. The people who composed that list may not recognize Taiwan. One list did recognize it, and I recognize it, but I also say because of the threat of the Chinese and what's going on, I would not want to live there. And I knew another guy who wanted to live there. Uruguay was on the list, but it did not rank. Let me see where it ranked. Uruguay was only on. It was on one list, and it was 10th. So it only scored 1 point. So it's on the list. Uruguay is supposed to be very nice. And much like some of these places, it would take quite a bit to get used to. Just like moving to Thailand takes a bit of getting used to. If you have no patience, don't move to Thailand. And if anything, if you're a hothead, you might want to learn to cool your jets, before you move here. Let me see what this has to say here. Also, another place that I didn't bring up, but there are two places actually. And on this site, they actually list the cities, and they were. This was out of 15. One was number 15. One was number 14. Number 15 was Ubud, Indonesia, and because of the healthcare and the taxes, it ranked down at the bottom. Istria, Croatia, again, healthcare and taxes, and it says monthly budget for the cost of living $2,110. Ubud, Indonesia, $953. Panama, $2749. Montenegro, which is another place I don't really know much about Montenegro. It says $1,755. That ranked number 12 on this list. For example, to give you some context, Colombia, $1,398 dollars. People with money generally choose first world countries, or if they don't, they choose developing countries because their money goes farther. Now, Phuket was number 9. Number 10 was Las Terrenas, Dominican Republic. Number 8 was Salinas, Ecuador. Then number 7 was Italy. Number 6 was Ireland. Number 5 was France. Number 4 was Northern Cyprus, which is never even thought about that. $1,180 a month is the cost of living. Healthcare was an A, crime was an A, taxes a B minus, final grade A minus. Here it is here. Paris, France, cost of living D. Monthly budget $4,202. For $4,000 a month, you can live like a king in some of these places. Cayo, Belize. I didn't bring up Belize. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I've been there before. I don't know that I want to live there, but that was 30 years ago when I went, so, And number 1 was Comporta, Portugal. But they have the monthly budget there, $2,933. That's a lot. This is from the website internationalinvestment.net. But you get an idea, you start to see the same countries popping up. And Thailand has slowly dropped in the ratings, and I don't think it's any. I don't think it's an accident. I think it's justified. And listen, I have my relationship with this place where, some days I love it. Listen, I mean, I come to a place like this, I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. It's really at any one moment, what is the place where you are? What is it like? Does it suit you? Does it meet your needs? Are you happy there? Now, when I see sky trains being built and stuff like that, I go, oh wow, that's great. But then I think about it and I think, it's a concrete jungle here. At some point, we are going to move away from Bangkok. And then I thought about, the reason I was looking at this is because I thought, and I was talking about this to Steve, but I thought about it and I thought, I've been living here for almost 30 years. When I hit about 62, 63, 65, probably a little younger, it may be time to say goodbye to Thailand. It very well, right now it's 50-50. And the reason is not because I hate the place. I love the place. It's my home. And I love the people. But it's like you live in Oz, or you live in America somewhere. You live in South Miami, you got a nice place, and you got a great life, and everything's good. But you still want to go somewhere else. You want to explore a little bit. You want to have a different lifestyle. You want to maybe get more for your money. And so you decide to retire somewhere else. And that's how we feel. We're starting to feel that way, especially me, but my wife as well. And that's why I'm talking about this, because you see a pattern. You see a pattern developing. You see people talking about, and here's another place that people have forgotten about, Armenia. Well, the Ukraine may be a good place to go. I dare say that it's probably cold as hell, quite a bit. And not only that, you always have to worry about the Russians. You always have to think about that a little bit. I don't know if that means that it's not a place worth considering. I don't mean that at all. And I've wanted to go there for quite some time. My buddy went to Latvia. He loves that place. He'd go there in a minute. He probably would live there in a minute if he could. I don't know. So there's a lot of places to consider, but I think if you look at the pattern generally, where people are migrating to now, you got, I said that the top 5, it was actually like the top 7. France, Costa Rica, Panama, Spain, Ecuador, Mexico, Portugal. Below that, add in Thailand, Colombia, Italy, Ireland, to a lesser extent, Taiwan, Vietnam, Malaysia. Malaysia for Asia is becoming one of the premier destinations here. And in Cambodia, for some people, my buddy Scott, that's another place that he for him, it is the place. He knows it, he likes it there, he's comfortable there, and the cost of living, it suits him best. And then there's always places like we talked about a few minutes ago, Switzerland, Canada, Norway, Singapore, Australia. For some people, Okinawa. For some people, Japan. I mean, some people, they really want to go there. And if you got the money and you got the desire, I mean, why not? So there's no shortage of places to go. And I think what Thailand is going to find out, the Thai government is going to find out very quickly, should things ever get back to normal, is they're sleeping. They're existing in slow motion right now. And they may think they're thinking ahead, but I don't really think that they are. I understand that. Yeah, you always have a startup cost. It's just like starting a business. Your life is a business. You go somewhere else, you're gonna have to pay to get set up. It would be expensive for me to move back to the United States. You know. You have to pay for a place, you're gonna have to pay for transportation, especially if you're in a place like the United States, you're gonna have to pay for transportation. So you always have to pay. That's the thing. Where do you pay a reasonable amount to get set up? I dare say if you have say $50,000 to $100,000 sitting in the bank, and you got money coming in, let's say from a pension. You don't have a shitload of money, but you got enough to get set up. You could go to a place for $15,000, $20,000. You can get set up very, very nicely. Set up with your visa, set up with an apartment or a small condo or something like that. Maybe just renting it out in a nice location. And the trick is not to be in some big city. I'm not going to be going to Chiang Mai. I can tell you that right now. My wife and I have talked about that extensively. And it's not going to happen. The only reason for me is the burning season. And it's just, I just don't think it suits me the best that a place can. I really like the places outside of the city. I don't dislike the city, but it is a city. And like when I went to Hua Hin, I've been there many times, but I hadn't been there in quite some time. I went there and I'm like, what the hell? There's just so much traffic here. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And so that right there turned me off about the place. I'm like, ugh, what do I want to come here for? I don't want to be around all that. Give me a place an hour away. Some place that I got to drive in. I got to make it a day trip or, half day trip, something like that. That's fine, But to say that you have to stick in one place or something like that, it's just nonsense. Really. Don't get too sentimental. My advice for youngsters, don't get too sentimental with shit. I love Thailand. It's a great place. I always love it. I love it. I do. I love America. I love Amsterdam. But I don't think that now, at this point in my life, I want to go live there. It's not the kind of place I want to live. Maybe back in the day, I would have been like, oh, God, I want to live there. Well, not now. But there are, you can see here, Thailand is going like this. It's sinking. And I've already said it, as a tourist destination, at least in the near future, Thailand is done. There are plenty of other places to go. Is this the guy's getting food? I didn't know you can get food. He's got like pasta over there. If I would have known that, I would have ordered some. If I would have known, I wouldn't have got that cake. I would have got a meal. But I guess there's only breakfast on the weekends. I don't know, but it smells good. I had a long conversation with Steve the other day, and this guy has traveled all over the place. More so than me. And he's lived in France, he's lived in Hong Kong, he stayed in Turkey for like 4 or 5 months. He's been all over the world. And he's like, I don't know, the thing about Asia now, you tell me what's going on in Thailand, and I'm kind of like, oh, what do I want to go there? Why do I want to go there? They got these wishy-washy, mealy-mouthed type policies, politicians who you gotta wonder where their mindset is. I mean, and just look in Pattaya. Now, let me see here. Pattaya, supposedly, according to Pattaya Bob, many of the hospitals are full because they're quarantining people without symptoms, which is something else to think about. I'm stuck here now. I'm stuck in Bangkok for at least the next couple of weeks. And the reason is because I don't want to go somewhere. If I go to that hospital and if I go to get my booster today and they go, oh, we have to test you first, I'm going to go, see you later, bye, I'm out of here. Because I don't want to give them the opportunity to tell me I'm positive. I have no symptoms, but I'm positive, and they're going to put me in the hospital. And I'm going to have to be in there for 2 freaking weeks. What do I need to do? I don't want to do that. I'm fully vaccinated. I'm not going to die. I really don't believe it. He also said there are quite a few people in Pattaya right now. However, I looked, and apparently the Russians are taking over. There's 2,500 Russians in Pattaya right now. 25% of the people tested at Tree Town tested positive for the new variant. 11 people tested positive at Khao San Road. And these are people that are already vaccinated. They go in, they've got their vax, they go right in, boom. Now, the death numbers are dropping. And they're making a big deal about this. Personally, I think in the beginning, definitely, to people with severe conditions or elderly, and I'm not talking about 59, I'm talking about people in their 70s, late 70s, 80s, they're on a bunch of meds and that kind of thing. Yeah, you better be careful because it's just like a flu. And what I just read today is from this Thai doctor who's saying, we'll be all right, don't get carried away about this Omicron. Is that it's just like a cold. That's what it's like. And so I gotta think to myself, they're freaking out here about this. Where are all the calm and reasonable minds? Where is the consideration for the people trying to make a living? The bars are closed. They already confirmed it. They're closed until the 15th of January, at least. Now, that's only one aspect of Thailand. But when you think about this, I don't know, it's turn on, turn off, okay, big turn off. This constant worrying about what is really amounting to nothing. I don't want to catch anything either. But you know what? When you go into a restaurant, and in Pattaya, the governor issued a mandate that every restaurant is supposed to check people to make sure that that you've been vaccinated, or you have to test. Well, I mean, I just went to Phang, I went to Khao Lat, Krabi. I did, and I am considering going to some of those places. And Pattaya Bob sent me a message where the guy was put in the hospital. And my wife says, oh, don't worry, our insurance covers everything. Don't worry. Okay, great. I won't worry because you know why? I'm not going to take a chance. And I'll tell you what, when we went to Chiang Mai, they didn't ask me anything. They didn't ask me if I was vaccinated. Didn't ask me anything. And all I hear from Thais walking around, when I'm walking around, and you hear people, walking next to each other and they're talking, is Omicron. You hear on the news, Omicron. It's freaking ridiculous, man. Well, just because it's so's a freaking cold. People have got their shits everywhere in the world. It doesn't mean you're going to shut down every restaurant or every bar or every business. I'm still convinced this is the beginning of the end of this insanity. This particular variant is very contagious. I hope you're right, Soy Dog Cowboy. 72-hour test for patio restaurants. Yeah, I mean, it's just the fact that they think they can do that. That will make it harder for the virus to mutate. Okay, well, I hope so. I sure hope so. Because I can tell you that I am sick and tired of every time I go out, I have to put a mask on. It's normal to put a mask on when you go outside. It's normal to have to raise my arm up to get my temperature checked. That shit ain't normal, man. It's not normal. So I hope you're right. I hope it is the beginning of the end. Oh, but if you listen to some people, there is no herd immunity. Okay, well, which one is it? Well, my question is this to you, Andrew. Why didn't you come in when they had the test and go and things were opened up? Why didn't you just come in then? Are you not vaccinated, or what's the deal? And I saw something on another channel, that Nomad guy, Nomad, what is it, Nomad Capitalist, where they're making it harder all around the world. If you are coming in on a tourist visa, a tourist means tourist. Doesn't mean you're coming in on a tourist visa to live. And you know, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I did that in the very beginning for a year or so. Well, in all honesty, dude, if you don't have health insurance, why are you traveling? Why don't you get some travel insurance? And you're not vaccinated. Okay. I'm surprised they let you stay there, to be honest. Well, I'm going for my booster in about an hour. That's why I'm here. Because I'm going to get the booster. And the reason is because I don't think it's going to harm me. I could be wrong. You know, I could end up being a frog in another year. I don't know. You know, it could do all kinds of things to me. But I doubt it. And if anything, it will provide me with a third shot, which should appease the government and many governments around the world when they see that. It would make it easier for me. Now, when I start thinking about going over and they're going to test me and all this other kind of shit, I'm like, what do I need to be tested for, buddy? I got no symptoms. I've been vaccinated 3 times. And you want to test me? You want to stick something up my nose? Get out of here. You know, I don't want that. I don't need to be tested everywhere. You know, and I don't think that people want to live this way. I think people are getting sick of it. You should, well, yeah, Andy, I was going to ask you about that. I can tell you, I talked to Chuck this morning. Chuck is scheduled to arrive on the 12th here, and he was given his, he was sent his confirmation paper from the embassy, but he has not been sent any email stating that he cannot enter the country. I'm going to assume that if he comes here, they're going to make him quarantine, or at the very least, they're going to test him. They're going to test him upon arrival anyway, but they may test him later on. But I think they're going to make him quarantine. Now, the one caveat is that although it's been in the news that they're going to do this, they're going to do that, it's been proposed by Anutin, sorry. It's been proposed by him that January 10th is the cutoff date. His is the 12th. And so it'll be interesting to see if he can get in. I'm really anxious to see if he can get in. Because he's like, hey, if they don't send me an email stating I can't get in, then why don't I just go? And I'm like, well, you're taking a chance, man. They could just tell you to turn around and go back, or they could tell you, okay, you can come in, but you're gonna have to quarantine for a week or 10 days. I can't see him quarantining more than 10 days, but still, that's an additional cost. I don't believe he has any, they would have to send him to a quarantine hotel, assuming he tests negative. They'd have to send him to a hotel. He'd have to pay that extra cost. I just think it's such a hassle. And then, let's not forget, if I walk to the door here, really, I should put on a mask according to these people. And I'm talking about these people being the government. Yeah, I know. This is the thing, and I told Chuck this, but the thing is, we're running out of time. And here's the other thing. My son Nicholas, he doesn't know if he's going to be learning online or if he's going to have to do it at the school. Alex has been told he has a month where he's doing online learning again. The kid hasn't been to school in 2 years. I mean, it's ridiculous. But Nicholas, they have not told him he's supposed to start in a few days. Oh, shit. What's today? Today's the 5th. He's supposed to. Alex is leaving on a trip on the 10th of this month, or the 10th. Nicholas is starting school the day after, and we're not sure. Is he going to go to school or is he going to study at home? And if he's going to school, his school is too far from us. So he's going to need an apartment. And I don't want to pay for the apartment if there's going to be a few months where he's going to be studying online. What does he need to have an apartment for of his own if he's studying online? He can do it right at home. You see, so this has caused so many kinds of issues. And these are relatively, what's the word I'm looking for? Innocuous? I don't know if that's the right word. They're not all that important when it comes down to it. What's important is when, if people are dying and they can't go see their family, somebody's sick, they can't spend their last days with them, all that kind of stuff. They've already jeopardized it. I don't know what you're talking about. They've already jeopardized it in their tourism. They've lost almost all of their tourism. Okay? I think 2022 is going to get a little better, but not as quickly as we think. Definitely not as quickly as they think. This place gets 20% of its tourism, or its gross revenue from tourism. Right now it gets about 1%, 1.5%. That's a hell of a loss. We're over 70% here, and it doesn't seem that. On a positive note, you can go into a grocery store or a shopping mall and go in and buy whatever you want. You don't have to buy it online now. You can go out. You can travel between provinces, and it's not a problem. And it really, here, if you consider some of the other places, China, Australia, the United States, and how things are, compared to here, this place is a hell of a lot better. A hell of a lot more lax. If I was to if I go walk out and I don't put a mask on, nobody's going to yell and scream at me. Nobody's going to get in my face. Nobody's going to give me shit. I told the story the other day about how I was in Starbucks and I left to go to the grocery store, and I just dropped my mask and forgot to put the mask on. It was a complete accident. I'm walking around in the grocery store, and all of a sudden I go, oh, I don't have a mask on. And I'm like, where's my mask? I didn't have a mask. I'm like, what am I going to do? All I can say if somebody starts yelling at me or threatening to kick me out is say, I'm sorry, I'll go get one from the pharmacy. I dropped it, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And so I just walked over to the pharmacy when I was done shopping, got myself a little mask to walk around with, and did it. And I felt guilty about that. And I'm getting cramps. I don't know why. Oh. So, yeah, I think, well, you know, if you want to learn to live with it, then learn to live with it. Don't say we're going to learn to live with it. No, but we're going to close this place. We're going to close that place. We're not going to open this place. We're not going to listen. If now is good enough time to open up fairly large restaurants, it ought to be good enough to open up small bars. And you can say what you want about the whole washing the hands, wearing the mask, you know, don't shit all over yourself and, you know, spread the virus kind of thing. The bottom line is, you know, if you're sitting in a restaurant like this and people have it, somehow I don't think it's all that well ventilated here. And, you know, you're going to catch it, you're going to catch it. That's the way that it goes. So, but I find these lists very interesting because most of the time I take them with a grain of salt, but I did look at, like I said, actually I looked at more than 5, but I came up with the 5 that I thought were the best ones. And then one of them I eliminated because it wasn't really for the average person. The average guy is not going to go, hey, you know what, I'm going to retire to Switzerland. I got plenty of dough. I mean, you know, you got a couple $100,000 saved up. It's probably not enough unless you got a nice pension, a hell of a good pension. You're probably not going to go live in the Swiss Alps or somewhere like that. And Taiwan, I just eliminated because of China. Portugal has many Brazilian hotties. Been there many times. Great place to live. See? There you go, man. There you go, Gennaro. Don't downplay it, baby. And, you know, here's the thing. I put this out there a long time ago. Don't travel for women. You know? Find the diamond in the rough if you have to. But don't go traveling, you know, 5,000 miles, 10,000 miles for a piece of ass. You'll be sorry. You will be sorry. You know, listen, I chalk up Andrew. Sorry, Andrew. I don't know if you're still listening, but I chalk up his mentality to youth, even though he's not all that young. I chalk it up to that. Horniness, whatever. I don't know. Because, you know, listen, it doesn't matter how good they are. Well, I mean, it does matter how good they are, but once you're with them for a while, then what? Why are you in the country? Listen, I've been here for 27 years. I've had my share of all kinds of things here. And I can tell you that while, you know, getting married was a high point of my life, one of the high points, having kids, obviously another, it doesn't make Thailand the best place in the world. You know, it makes the place where we live. That's what it is. It doesn't make it the most fantastic. Oh my God. There are fantastic places here, for sure. But you better temper your expectations. I don't know that I'd live. I don't know I'd live in Brazil, man. Whew. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. poop that is. Now, another place I didn't talk about, and I haven't said anything, Malta. Malta and Cyprus, North Cyprus, were two places I didn't really talk about. I knew somebody from Malta. I think he was there. He was Maltese by descent. You know, he didn't live there for his whole life or anything like that. But I've heard good things about the place. And the point is, for me, hey, you better consider all your options. And, you know, I talked to Jono the other day, and we were talking about it, and he's like, you know, the thing is I knew Thailand because he had been married to a Thai woman. I knew Thailand. I went to Thailand because, you know, I wanted to check it out, and, you know, because of her and everything, and that's why I considered living here. But you know, to go and check out 5 places, 10 places, it may take you a number of years to do that. You know, when you're 25, you might go to say Croatia, and you go, oh, this is the best place. Then, you know, you're 48, and you're like, I wonder if Croatia's still good. All right, if you go back for a week, and it turns out to be a great place, you might go, okay, this is the place for me. But it's probably not. You're not going to be, most people, some people may do the round the world trip and stop off in places and go, which do I like the best? I want to live here. But to really do it right, you need at least a month or two to figure things out, to get the lay of the land, to talk to people. And so, you know, that's why Thailand continues to be a place that people want to move, because they remember or they hear about it, and they're like, well, I'm not saying it's a terrible place to live by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. Would she be comfortable in a Latino country, in a Latin country? I don't know. It depends on where it was. I'll tell you this, she didn't like Bali. And I was like, how can you not like Bali? How can you not like Bali? I'm like, what is with you? She's like, I don't know, I just didn't really like it that much. I'm like, it's beautiful here. And she just, you know, I think you get her out of Asia. She liked America. She liked the U.S. She's only been to New York and Florida, and she liked it a lot. But she didn't have to deal with the politics, with the red tape, very little. So I don't know that she would really love it if she lived there. Yeah, I've heard good things about Greece as well. I don't know about now, but it doesn't seem to be up on any of the charts for some reason. And I think it has to do with the economy and a bunch of other things. Charge a service charge. That's good, though. I don't have to worry about it. Anyway, so we're just about at the end of another stream. Took a few days off. I may take a few more days off from streaming. I don't know. I felt this was something I really wanted to talk about because it's the new year. You know, there's always these new rankings and all this kind of stuff. I'm getting AstraZeneca. There's a choice between AstraZeneca and Pfizer in many locations. Unfortunately, I could not get an appointment. And I read some article that said Pfizer doesn't work against Omicron and all this shit. I don't know. I get the freaking booster. I do what I'm able to do, and that's it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't want to worry. I don't want stress. I don't need all this shit. All I want to do is just get it done. I didn't, believe me, I told my wife, I don't even want to come here. I don't want to go here. I don't want to take the trip out there and go get the booster, but you know what? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know? Yeah, I think my mother's been there, if I remember correctly, and she really liked it. I think she's been to Croatia as well, and she liked that there. She loved it there. She thought it was fantastic. So, you know, again, the point is there are plenty of places to choose from. This place is only one of them. And I think you think about it, there are a lot more people now that are saying, sorry, Thailand, I'm going elsewhere, or I'll wait. Many people, the hardcore people, and I tend to think that a lot of the people in the stream who follow the channel, tend to be a little more hardcore travelers than the average guy or girl. You know, and if you're someone who hasn't traveled to Thailand before, okay, come to Thailand, for sure. But don't make any rash decisions. And I think that the way it goes and the way that people need to think is what are the trends? And the trend from Thailand has been like this in the past few years. And I don't mean it in a really derogatory manner. I just think they've like many places, they've tightened things up a bit. Tighten up their rules and regulations. You can't blame them. When you got people coming here that are on 30-day visas, going over the border, they're getting an extension, and they're going back and forth every 60 days, and they're doing that for 10 or 20 years. And some of them are criminals. And then the rest of the world is looking at Thailand going, what the hell are you doing? I understand it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it makes it the most pleasant the pleasant way of doing things here. There are other places that are much easier to get in and much easier to stay, and especially if you have money. I believe Tenerife is part of Spain. So I think you really need to consider that. Consider everything. You know, Jono thought long and hard before he came here. He thought about it for 10 years before he moved here. He did it the right way. He really thought about it. And now, you know what? For the most part, he has his life set up the way he wants it. So this place suits him. You know, it suits him very well. Just do it already, dude. Contact me and tell me about it once you're married. All right? There's a reason why she's your ex-girlfriend, not your girlfriend. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Oh, God. And you know what? I feel really fortunate because, you know, I've been with my wife for 21, 22 years. I don't even know now. I'm losing track. For a long time. I think it's 22. And we've grown old together. And I view that as a huge achievement and a huge plus, especially nowadays when people split up every. I did everything I wanted to do pretty much when it comes to running around and the bar scene and all that kind of that nightlife scene. I did everything. I got it out of my system. I sowed my oats. So I was ready. I hope you're ready also, Andrew. I hope you really know just what being married to a Thai woman entails, because it might be a little bit more than you think. There might be the unexpected. We'll put it that way. You know. So, you know, and you know, you don't have it bad in Vietnam. You don't have it bad in Vietnam. Yeah, but you're getting married just to get married. That's the thing. You're not getting married because you love her, you want to be with her the rest of your life. You haven't said that. What you said was, I want to find a girl to marry. That means you just want to marry somebody. It's not you want to marry that girl because she's the one. There's a huge difference. And I wish you well. I hope it works. Who am I to say? But I'm just telling you. I'm just speaking my mind because you brought it up. Boy, if you got a Thai girl that says, I control you, you better run. These guys are bailing. 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. All right, we're set. So, please remember to leave a thumbs up. Please remember to subscribe if you would be so kind. Check the description down below for all the pertinent information and ways you can help support the channel. Probably the next stream I'll do will be Sunday. I don't know. I may have a video going up tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. This is in Nong Jok, which is northeast of Minbury. It's about an hour away from my house in Bangkok, the mall Bangkok, about an hour away. And you're not going to be taking a boat, you're not going to be taking, you know, the SkyTrain or the subway. Maybe in a year or so, you might be able to take the SkyTrain. I don't know. It depends on if they finish it up. I read part of it was still being tendered. They had some disagreement. It went to court or whatever. So who knows? It's past Minbury. Listen, anybody who is married, even in a happy marriage, knows that, you know, you have your days. You know, you have your great days, you have your good days, and you have your bad days. Hopefully the bad days are not too bad. And that's the way I look at it. Listen, you know, me and my wife, we bicker like husband and wife sometimes. You know, what are you talking about? That's not true. Yes, it is. You don't listen. You're not listening. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Stop for a second. Let me explain to you. Then you explain, and it's like, that's it. You don't hear anything. There's nothing like, you know, all right, you're right. You know, you don't hear that. It's just like, let's move on. You know, that's about it, though. You know, but if it's bad, it's really going to be bad, and you shouldn't be married. That's why you got to, as they say here in Thailand, as Thai women say, yak du nanan. Very easy to say. Yak du nanan means I want to look at you for a long time. I want to make sure that you're not a piece of shit. My dad is 60. $500,000 in equities, VA benefits, could possibly work remotely as a corporate consultant. He wants to stretch his dollar. Thailand is not a good look. I think there are places that are just as good as Thailand, if not better. Thailand is great, but I think there are places that are just as good. It depends on, you know, where does he want to be. The one thing about Portugal is it's not all that far from, thank you very much there, ZH. You know, it's not that far from, it's what, 8 hours, 9 hours away from America? Same with like Costa Rica. You want to get back to America? Boom, easy. Ecuador, boom, 5 hours, easy. You know, so it depends on where you want to, you know, do you want to be close to the United States? You want to be close to Europe? Are you a Brit? You know, Colombia, listen, Gennaro, have you been to Colombia? Curious to know that. Have you been to Colombia? Because I've been to Medellin, and I will say it was a wonderful place, much nicer than I expected. The people were great. The women, if you want to know, the women take extraordinary care of themselves to look good. And you know, the reputation of Colombian women precedes them, kind of like Brazilians. But I don't know that I would want to live there. I cannot say like, man, I really want to live here. When I went to the Netherlands many years ago, man, I want to live here. I like the Dutch way, I like the Dutch women. When I moved to Thailand, I was like, oh, I love this place. When I moved to France, I even said that. So, you know, there's a lot to consider. Do not think I'd be comfortable living in a Latin culture. I personally, I don't like the whole machismo thing and all that kind of thing, but there is, when you get a little older, you know, it's not expected of you to be, you know, you don't have to be Mr. Badass, Mr. Tough Guy, Mr., you know, Mr. Macho. You got to be a man, you know, but you got to be that here in Asia. If you're not a man here in Asia, you get stepped on by the women. Well, yeah, Australia to here, Australia to Indonesia, very, very near. So. All right. Believe me, when I say it, I mean it. I don't like it. And you know, the other thing is, I'm not someone who would put up with some chick who's standing in front of the mirror and doing selfies, and I wouldn't put up with that shit. That's one thing that in Thailand, people were talking about the air pollution as being a huge negative, but also the heat in Bangkok especially, but the traffic is just, and the same thing with the Philippines. I mean, you can say there's some beautiful places in the Philippines. I'm not saying the Philippines wouldn't be a place for some people to live. Of course it is. But, you know, it's also a place that, you know, if you're in Manila, forget about it. Traffic is a bitch. So, anyway, guys, how about I go for, I'm going to take a little walk out here for a second. We'll go out here for a little walk. A little 5-minute walk. And then I'll say my goodbyes. Oh, shit. Let's see here. A lot of people here now. People starting to show up. I wish they would have told me that they had. I was asking about the breakfast. I'll show you over here too. I was asking about the breakfast. She's like, no breakfast. I'm like, but they got food. Nice fountain here. Look at this. Got the flying gasoline pump. I don't know what the hell this is. Then we got this telephone here. Got the Rolex sign over there. This is a little kids area. Take you through for one more little walk through here. This way. Penny Lane. It's in my ears and in my eyes. Woohoo, look at this. Sea of paradise, the dream sea, and family heaven. I don't think they'd like me to get in there right now. Very nice, nice cafe here. We feed the fish. Even the life float is older. Okay. Look at this over here. This truck is pretty cool here. I don't think that they're using it, but maybe they are. No, they're not. It's empty. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer. Voodoo ride or die. King of the road. Nong Chok. Ice cold Coca-Cola. Big 12-ounce king size. Oh, look at this. Here's another vehicle that's an older. I don't know how old this thing is. Shell gasoline pump. I guess, and look at this. It's the Michelin Man. And of course, the 52 Chevy pickup. I believe most of the stuff is like from the 50s and even the 40s. Beautiful place. So once again, all you have to do is look up the Voodoo Cafe and you'll find it. Yes, Voodoo is Haitian. I know that, being from Miami and growing up with some Haitians. Here is the prayer room straight ahead. This is, in my opinion, the nicest cafe that I've ever seen in Thailand. Serious. Nice waterfall in here. Well, if you know anything about Thailand, you know that, sometimes the names just don't mesh with the place. Look at this here. I'm gonna go sit up there and go sit up there. Very nice, this place. Anyway, it's time to go, ladies and gents. Time to go. Woodland Museum, okay. Wait. I mean, even look at this kind of thing. I got no idea how they pay their rent. Maybe they just paid for it cash and all they have to do is cover their nut, the electricity and the staff and stuff. Who knows? Anyway, lovely place. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Oh, I'm glad I could share it. These are the kind of places that I really enjoy going to. So, thank you very much. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave the thumbs up. Check out the description for more info. Well, this one's a 50 baht coffee. So, all right, guys. So, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Friday, maybe Sunday. Depends. Keep watching the videos. I'm going to be putting some old stuff on, some new stuff on. Hopefully this year will be better. All right? So until next time, I'm Scott. I am an American in Nong Chok. Sorry, Chok. And anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Talk to you guys later. Thanks. Thank you, Dowlow, for the halal cake. That cake that I had was damn good, but it's time to go. I'll talk to you guys later.